Hey, what's up, guys? I figured I'd go over something a little different. I got this book probably 12 years ago. I didn't get it. This was a gift from my oldest friend. Uh, a British book from CAMRA, right? The Campaign for Real Ale, who were basically trying to protect the traditions of the old British style beers. Okay, especially in the last couple of decades, you have a lot of the InBev, right? The foreign corporations buying up all these breweries, brewing beers at other locations. It's kind of the thing, the manifestation of the thing that we're all dealing with in this day and age. Uh, and I always say that, of course, my favorite beer is always going to be German beer. German, it's my blood, and the beer is just there's no other like it. But I do like the other kinds of beers too. Of course, the Belgian beers are very famous, but I always feel the British beer severely underrated. They have a lot of different styles, and of course, when people think of British beer, they think of what is it, the nitro beer, which they call flat. I mean, it's much flatter than American or German or Belgian beer, but it's a little different. Obviously, it's a different sort of carbonation involved. Of course, you have the different yeast, right? What is it? The ale has the top yeast. The Pilsner has a yeast at the bottom, but regardless, British beer to me is very underrated. There's many that I like, and unfortunately, there's a number of them in here which were available in America. I remember at some point, which I have not seen in years. So it must have been a trial run, and then I guess it didn't get enough interest. So there's really not a huge selection of British beer in the United States anymore. Other than like Samuel Smith and some like Wells, but British beer is the nature of British ale is like it tastes like I always say it tastes like something the hobbits would drink, right? The flavors are more subtle. They're spicy in a more subtle way. Okay, like I said, they have a nice earthy nature to them, and we'll just go over some of these here. You see, the format of the book is to go like year by year and to have a lot of history in here. So it's another interest of mine mixed together. Now they try to link the day in history to a beer when they can. Obviously, sometimes it's just they just put a beer in that it has nothing to do with the historical thing. They try to tie it in a way, but many times they do have a historical footnote to this thing here. Look at that beer. Look at that. Old Tom Strong Ale. This is not in the United States, but I figured that I would go do this a little different. I would go through, as you can see, the poster pad is a useful organization. Go through some of the beers that I really like, a couple that I would have liked to have tried that I never did, and a couple that I can't seem to find anywhere. And they're almost entirely British, those ones. But the Germans are well represented in this book, as are some of the American beers, the pioneer breweries, like Sam Adams and Sierra Nevada. Anyway, let's get into the beer. Quick, this one. I remember they used to have this beer around, Daleside Morocco Ale from North Yorkshire. This was a great beer. It was a spicy beer. It was a year-round beer. It wasn't a Christmas beer. I remember this beer. What they put in it was the mystery lies in the spicing. They said the ginger, North African ingredients. This was a great beer. I used to love getting this beer, and now it's MIA. It's nowhere anywhere in America. What a damn shame. Example of where they have to find something to link to it. Erdinger Weiss beer. This is a solid Hefeweizen, the German, the Munich beer style, the Bavarian beer style, wheat beer style, which has a very unique flavor. Erdinger is always a solid one. I want to try their double bock. I don't know if I never seen the double bock around, but the Weiss beer is always solid. And for example, they use Houdini because his name was Eric Weiss, right? They put him in this. This is an example of I guess you could put this in here. So. But yeah, Weiss beer, a very good beer style. So, all right, Wells. This is Bedford. I believe this is Southern England. Yeah, the Youngs, the double chocolate stout. It's a great beer. Actually, it's a stout that actually, dark it has dark chocolate flavors and coffee roasted flavors, the stout style. But this one they actually put chocolate in it. Uh, very really good. Not nitro, but not super carbonated. Somewhere in between. I don't know. I just like it, and this is one of the British beers that's readily available in any beer distributor I go to. All right, more Hefeweizen, Schneider Weiss. Schneider is probably one of the best ones of this style. You know, their Hefeweizen's a little darker, but it's not a Dunkelweiss. It's not a dark Weiss. This is their normal one. This might be one of the best ones, man. Schneider, and they make another beer I'm gonna go in at the end, which is probably one of my top 5 beers ever. But look at that beautiful head. Look at that. Schneider Weiss, okay, from Kelheim in Bavaria. Samuel Smith. This is probably the from Yorkshire, right? See the white rose of York, right? The Samuel Smith is probably the most prolific beer brewery, English beer to come over here. You see this everywhere. It's from the oatmeal style. Apparently, the oatmeal style is not even made in England. It's made for the American market. Why? I don't know. But any beer from them is a solid beer. And what you expect from like an old northern English beer, kind of solid, nothing fancy, but more nuanced than you think. An example of another British beer that was around for a little bit. I used to get it. It was great. Adnams Broadside, and it just doesn't. You can't find it anymore. They must not. They must not bring it anymore to the United States. It was a darker beer, but it was a really good beer, man. Wherever you are, well, I guess you're in England. The Berliner Kinderweiss, the Eastern German wheat beer, not very strong. The restaurant I used to go to had this. Used to put the raspberry syrup in one and the woodruff syrup in the other. By itself, it's kind of sour. It's kind of weird because the reviewer here says it's only for the brave to drink it without the syrup. Dude, relax, bro. It's sour, but it's not that bad. So of course there's a stronger version of the Berliner Weiss made by I forgot who that you see in the stores, which is extremely expensive. So but yeah, this wheat, look at that. It's not very strong. So Jeva Pilsner. This is one of the, like I said, dry, extremely bitter. This is like almost IPA level bitter, as you say, from the northern Germany, the Friesland, by the ocean there. Jaeger is a solid beer, man. You get this whenever you can. This is one of the best pilsners ever brewed, excuse me.